Hello, hello. Welcome to the late night talks with Romantic Developer. Let me double check if it's going well because I just started the stream and it's ended mostly immediately. Okay, looks like we live. So welcome. It's the late night 79, which means we already trying our luck and doing something for about 180 days, which mostly 6 months, or maybe already 6 months. No, probably not, because we haven't included the short months of February, so slightly less than 6 months. But I started the streams about a half year ago, and the thing is that it was a challenge for 152 days, and actually such challenges for such long term, long duration, not just for one day, not just for a week, for months, because it's pretty simple and it's not flow into you, not becoming a tradition, not becoming a something which bring you not only joy, not only frustration, but also provides you some, you know, maybe it's not energy, but some sense or something like that. So it's really mean a lot if you want if you think that you not so good at something or and everything whatever you don't see a lot of sense in multiple things, but you always think it would be nice to do something, or maybe it could be whatever, like walking. I'm not talking about streaming. It could be doing some exercises or something else, or writing reading at least one page about something in computer world or in about nature. Just start it and do it every day without any exception, holiday, not holiday, always, and do it in some consecutive number of days, at least 150 days. Only then you could feel if it's worth it or not, and you receive very valuable experience, and you will receive, most importantly, belief in yourself. It's what more precious than everything else you could get here. I am in my headphones because today we are going to look into our chatbot which talk to us. It's a real-time engine, so of course it's mm, yeah, kind of nice. And to hear it, I'm wearing the headphones, and you will hear it in the stream because I looks like I need to, yeah, I set up my OBS studio that way, or I will set up it this way. Okay. Also, I did some research just before stream, and I did some reading with ChatGPT, a search engine, about because I feel that news API which we are using, I like Google for news. And since ChatGPT doesn't provide any open API for news, I think maybe we could use Google for directly, because right now we use something which called SERP API, and it's not from Google. For some reason, I thought that it's like Google approved. It's not. And for Google, um, if we trying to use Google custom search engine programmatically, we could get about 1,000 queries per $5 for $5, and there is no free tier here. And we have some query daily limit, which is found is more than enough. And we could receive some results, about 100 results per query. And yeah, looks interesting. Also, we have Google Programmable Search Engine. I don't know what is different from JSON API, but custom search engines at Google allows you to create a customized search experience for your website. Okay, it should be free with ads. Okay, it's not something we look into. And cloud free program offer Google Cloud free program, which includes free trial for 90 days. And for always free tire, we have about 20 products as computer engine, cloud storage, BigQuery, and it's not everything included. So most probably we need to add some funds to use that Google query for custom JSON API, which which sounds good. It's not much. We are trying to use right now SERP API, and you see it's I did about 45 queries from 100 in less than 10 days in this month. So yeah, it's pretty big. And I did one search through the console uh, just recently. So yeah, I thought that probably it wouldn't be enough for us, and even 100 searches mostly enough. So if we will divide that to 100 search, it means that per month we will use only 50 cents. And if we will not limit ourselves, maybe $1 or maybe $2 per month, so it should be pretty, yeah, not a big price. So so maybe we need to put some plan about that. We have Google Collab, YouTube. Oh, thanks. Okay, turn on. Okay. I don't think I'll have any problems with internet soon. But yeah. So for our next version of Romantic Developer YouTube channel, I still haven't implemented shorter education video, but we already used AI to provide discussion starters. We start building our chatbot for YouTube, and we're looking into real-time OpenAI SDK. And I started building YouTube AI helper in cloud, but I'm still haven't shared it yet. And yeah, we do something like that. And shorts, we still haven't looked into that because it's pretty complex question to do, but probably it would be nice to have. So right now I haven't started that series. Uh, it's also requires some effort and time. Hopefully I could do that during next week. It's week after New Year and not first. So yeah, a good time to start adding some new content to my YouTube channel. But here for Python script upgrades, maybe we could add new slide. Oh, and what about that? No. Do we have some templates? Delete. We have team. Okay, it's our team. Oh, come on. Layout, transition, background, grid view, height, plus new slide templates. And if I'll use templates, mm, I need probably I need to find current template. some reason I thought it would be here in template section. Okay. Okay. We could just insert new slide and go into layout and change the layout. Probably it would be something like section header and to do. Let's just write what we still missing. So we will have some plan, and having a plan always is nice because it will make sure that we will return to that and do the stuff which we planned. So I'm sorry. Looks like I just need to also change. It's not border, it's color of the. Oh, yeah, that one. And how to change it location. Hello, where are you? Okay, okay, looks like we improve. And we just could make it bigger, improve simplify prompts. Or we can even make it even bigger like that. Awesome. Let's start new. Local improved version of Whisper to do local Python script updates. It's still YouTube AI helper, but what we can do, test and choose proper models for local open AI. And we say it would be a llama in our case. And what we did just recently, okay, we talked about Google custom search JSON API. Use it instead of SERP API. What we are using? We are using SERP API. Okay. So sounds good. We will put here all other updates, and when we don't know what to do in the streams, we could return. We could return to those. What else? Now we could talk slightly about the recent news and then switch to the software development part where we developing our chat bot, which is communicate with us through microphone, correct? And it would be some nice robot. We choose the 800 robot with some sense of humor, so it should be nice. And we will make sure that it will be aware about the context of our stream and could pass that information to our normal chatbot, which we haven't connected yet. First of all, let's see one thing. Looks like I forgot to do one of the things. I forgot to describe this video. As you see, it was pretty long video, but we have very standard description and no video sections, no proper title, nothing. So what we can do, we can just copy the link and go and transcribe and process it with our default settings. For that we can use command like python main py, and we just say full process. And also we specify that we want to update YouTube because it's not by default, and just pass the link. That should start our process. Let's see if it will find everything. Okay, our credentials were expired, but it was able to refresh them. It found the stream 178. Okay, no, it didn't find, it's found, but it didn't find it locally, so it's downloading. It's downloading in best audio quality possible, and it's already 96, 100%. Then we use our FFmpeg utility, local utility, to transcribe it to, transpile or convert into OGG file format with much less kilobyte per second. So we will have a smaller file which we can send to Whisper and receive a response. I use SDK, Whisper SDK here, just to improve the speed of all the process. And because we need to send mostly 2.5 hours of stream, converting it to smaller size, of course, will help, because Whisper accepts only, through OpenAI, accepts only up to 25 megabytes. And we have code which divided into small chunks and then combine chunks and everything, but it's not working super nice. Sometimes it do some small mistakes, so it's better, of course, to have one single file. And because we don't have a lot of communication and it's pretty clear, so Whisper is totally fine doing it with low bitrate. So we already converted about 1 hour, 1 hour 30 minutes. And while it do, we can go to our Visual Studio, and it's not yet in the bot, so we could go. Let's see the news now for today. So we can execute all on the top and generate some discussion starters for us, because we don't have any comments yet. Not in live chat, not in previous stream. So for generating some discussion starters, we build in context. Context consists of past 6 streams from YouTube. They are preserved into video folder, and it receives the stream IDs from YouTube, from my YouTube channel, and then it go, for example, oh, what we doing, it's here not very nice. Why? Because we are in concurrent mode. Concurrent mode. What I mean, that we try to send the last stream. Okay, restart. So we never did that before, because we never executed a separate process, that thing. So we generated OGG file and we sent it into Whisper as part of this process, but because we, in this folder, we don't have already transcribed details, it's trying to do exactly the same. So of course it would have some issues, because we're not think about it, that multiple processes can do that. So, let's clear all outputs, start that, and wait slightly while we receive some results here. I can show some other folder. So once we transcribe, we receive something like Z file. So transcript of our stream, and then we try to improve the transcript, fixing some issues, errors, etc., etc. So it's do it pretty cool. We use ChatGPT for or mini model for that. It's doing it's great. And then we ask a few questions like, what would be the cool description for that stream, or what would be the cool title for that stream, or what would be a proper summary for that stream. So, and as you see, it creates some summary about what we talked about, and so on. Also keywords, and so on. And in those summaries, it just uses those summaries to build the context of our previous streams, about our 5 previous streams or 6 previous streams. And for the very last stream, it used the um, full context in SRT format. Oh no, in probably it's the TXT format, which is we convert manually, not manually, but with code SRT to TXT, just excluding all the time component because we don't need it for context. For context, we need it for creating proper chapters, what we did and when, but not for, yeah, not for uh, not for our context, for asking some questions. And then we look into our news folder and we receive 2 categories of the news, general and AI news. And if today news are not here, we just request them through API, some general news, some API AI news. And then for some of those news, we receive more or less article, full article text or something. So uh, some of those questions. And then we provide that overall big context to our O1 Mini, which is model well known for its ability to do some emulate thinking process. And we ask it to create some cool questions for us, and it's come up with some results. So let's see how where we are in this process. We're still trying to transcribe our Whisper stream, but once we will be able to do the transcription, I think we can go and execute our discussion starters. So it's still some technical details about it. It's taking some time even for SDK to process 2 hours and 24 minutes of the stream. Let's go once again. Oh, my Visual Studio Code. Select another stream. So if we open that folder in File Explorer, yes, we see that original file WebM was about 72 megabytes of data, but our OGG file, which we compress, it's about 8 megabyte, which means that we could send to Whisper as one single file about 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 6 hours at least of stream, which is pretty cool. So, and we received some raw response. Yes, let's see it in Visual Studio Code. And raw response contains all the text, and it's also should, oh, hmm, it's first error I ever see. So it could be connected with the thing that we updated our OpenAI library yesterday. Let's ask our one of our model, maybe even not maybe even O1, but maybe 4 or yeah, would be interesting. Hey, I recently updated my OpenAI Python library to most recent and got the error message. So should we send our code? Probably yes. To send our code to the model, we have response not nice. You see, after some time, it just sent a. So you see a lot of text, of course, but then it broke and it's sent some of the text like in, I couldn't say it's Morse code. It's more like binary code, 1010. Of course, it's not interstellar. It doesn't mean anything. And for segments, we just couldn't preserve it. So let's execute something like Python. And we need, okay, we need go up to one level and execute Python and prepare file. It's combined here. Let's copy. My current code is maybe with the code we can include more information, no? Like maybe something like that. So we want GPT-4o to answer that because answers of that model would be less reliable than models like O1, O1 Pro, or others, but it has ability to search the latest news in internet, and of course it's much faster. So really, huh, really, which iPhone? Oh, so let's go here and let's insert not the full code, but only our AI client code. Part of my current code is maybe it's not sufficient enough, but let's see. Uh, Stems from changes in the latest version. Okay, previously API response were returned as dictionaries allowing direct access. In the updated library response are now okay model. Transcribe audio method returns response obtained from create call. Here how you can modify transcribe audio. Convert model to a dictionary. Mm, the only problem with that, the only problem with that. Let's see the changes from AI client. Oh, we have a lot of changes, but not here. Audio transcription create, self whisper client, client audio transcriptions create response self. Okay. Okay, model dump. Maybe it would solve the issue. So okay, let's try to re-execute, but we don't need a full process anymore. We just need transcribe. So we can change our full process and just try to execute transcribe. And now, because it's already a local file, we don't need to download it. Just can go to our folder, copy that folder name, and provide it as a folder name. So we're trying to send it to Whisper API and see what it will return. It will take some time. Other option, we just can switch back to the previous version of OpenAI library. It wasn't too old, let's say maybe months old or so, but you see that wasn't too reliable. I didn't expect that. I thought that everything should work as before if you update something, but you see now sometimes they do code breaking changes. So let's remove that raw response. Let's see. It's our transcriber. So we have transcribe. Transcribe chunk. And we try to transcribe audio response. Process whisper response. Result response equal response. Return and process whisper response is we trying to get all the segments in segments in words and return segments in words. Where we saving the file? Let me just check. AI client transcribe audio. We send it response, then we transform to model and set it. And we just use it from here. Response, transcribe audio, result, result response equals response. Okay, and we return the result in transcribe chunk, and that is where we transcribe in the chunk. Okay, and transcript raw response, we just get response. And save transcripts. It's where we try to get raw response and just preserve it as a JSON file. Okay. So here, request identic serialized warning. Expected string but got float with value. Error process and whisper response. Dict object has no attribute segments. Maybe, maybe we need to see it on some small file just to see what we have. Because looks like we broke our program. The program in GitHub, of course, working fine because we not committed the most recent changes. But let's see that we have what we have here. Test video, and that is 151, and it's about 4 megabytes. Okay. Let's see as view as details. Okay. We have some Mr. Beast. We have Romantic Developer Night 3. We did a lot of tests with that video. And OGG just 793. Okay, looks good. So we trying to go here, click on main and try to debug. And when we say execute, we just need to provide some parameters, and it will be transcribe in that folder. And we need to put breakpoints somewhere in transcribe. 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 Oh, okay. We just need to divide them better. Let's put some breakpoint here in transcriber. Okay. And we have transcribe chunk. And it's where we receive it's our first response. We could see how it looks like. Maybe even before. Okay. Now we go back to main and try to execute it once again. Main. So transcribe, and we need folder. Oh, come on. Transcribe folder. Invalid choice. Transcribe. So a lot of questions. So let's ask our questions one by one. So GPT-4o. Hi, I need to debug a program. I have debug configuration like this. Can you please help me pass parameters like this? Transcribe. So args command pick args. Is it possible to provide those args in pop-up dialog? So what we can do, we have one configuration, we can just create another one, call it specific folder these params, and console program, and in args we should have our okay transcribe. Nice. Let's try. We just need to choose proper configuration, run execute. Use IntelliSense. We need to go back to main, I'm sorry, to this file. And now we need to choose proper specific folder and execute on the main file, of course. Okay, at least we come here. Let's look very briefly on my last question. Click on large, define user inputs, define the buffer configuration, how we can set up input args1, input args2, inputs, first argument, second argument. Yeah, it would be slightly more complex. Okay. Response. And we have filtered whisper config. Let's look what is it. It's temperature, response format, language, and timestamp granularities, which is we basically use to receive segments and words in the response. So let's see if we could get response. It's not long file, it's about maybe 6-7 minutes. So Whisper through SDK should return us result in maybe less than a minute. Let's wait. Okay. Here we have. So and response basically contains everything we want. It contains duration, language, text, segments, words, and task. So, and where we see the problem? Response is here. Okay. And here we see response segments we couldn't see because the dictionary has no attribute segments. Okay, which means that our previous approach was better. Why we received that issue then? Ah, okay. Let's quickly revert our code. Let's just return response as is and go to main and try to execute it once again. Specific, execute, wait, slightly wait, and we will receive soon some results. So looks like ChatGPT 4 trick us into wrong decision-making strategy, and we fixed proper code with not proper code. So response, okay. Let's see, let's go and see if it will execute. So response segments, we could access that, yes. And if we enumerate, it should be good. Okay. Oh, And segment is okay. Segment is its object. So that's why segment start could throw an error, correct? I see. How it's possible that they before return it like in semi? Oh, come on. And can we say something like that? These objects? No. Transcription segment. So before they didn't return some specific object, but they returned just dictionary, just for that segments. I see, I see. So, I mean, that should be, oh, that should be pretty simple. We could do it even by hand. I mean, by our hand. So now text should exist, or let's ask, I don't know Python well. You remember? Can I write something like in Python? I have, by the way, enabled Copilot in Visual Studio. Use or. Okay. That's what I want to ask, because in Visual in .NET Language I could use that. Let's do the same trick with words. Start and word word or yes, straight should work. Segments equal segments, words equal words. Nice. What else we need to fix and change? I don't think we have anything else here. Transcript. Okay, it's our new file. Okay. Let's test once again very quickly. And we choose our proper configuration execute. Let's wait slightly to get the response from Whisper. Okay, now we should be successful here. Result. Okay, we have segments and we have words. Okay, result response. We have just responses. And we return it. Let's see. I should have uh, enabled Copilot. So did it allow me to use Copilot to fix it? modify using Copilot. Please help me to fix. And it just do for each object in row responses. It's try to do it as dictionary and then it preserve it. Okay, let's switch back to our main file. Main, execute once again and see if it will be fixing the things. Unless we commit our changes to our requirements where we updated OpenAI to from version 150 to 159, those change is not required in your code, so you should be good. Okay, we received result. We able to successfully process them. Okay, now row responses. Row responses. Mm. Row responses is array. Yeah, I mean print, copy print. Copy all. So let's ask ChatGPT 4. I have an object and the code which is failing. Which is very logical because it's combination of while I do this help to fix. Um, it's small part. We just preserving it to be able to see raw response, and you see it's create us some issues. Okay, mistake in a tuple or different objects. Solution, solution. How to resolve? And you see, it's not helpful at all. I provided all the details, but looks like I just provided too much details. I mean, a list was pretty big. And the thing I would love to have in the ChatGPT ability to copy my prompt from one chat to another one. So let's, for example, go here for some new chat in O1, and it will provide us very proper and simple way to transcribe the object. I'm sorry, preserve the object in JSON format. So it's provided some example approach how we could preserve everything. Or I like some very simple approach. Let's just try that. I don't think it will work, but let's try. If it will work, it's fine. If not, we could continue our discussion from here. So looks like fine. We could even set here breakpoint, return to our main, execute our configuration. And let's see if we will be able to preserve Whisper output in our current new format. Okay, we received our result. We can go here. So let's see how it will look like in our debug console. Okay, it looks like duration. It looks like dictionary, but with some inner objects. Most probably it will. Okay, most probably it will not work. Let's try. No. Oh, no, it didn't work. So yeah, probably we need to come up with the first. Yes, when I did simpler approach like you suggested, find open error. Yeah, I haven't read it to the end, you know, I haven't read it to the end. It's already said that I need to do more. Any custom objects need the steps that turn it into plain dictionary. It might be done via as dictionary or a custom to dict you write yourself. Once everything is converted, transcription segments. Let's see. Can you find me all the methods of Python OpenAI SDK class? Let's see if GPT-4o can do at least something. Start token temperature words. Source code. For more detailed information, let's see. Maybe it already has something like it's a big class here. Transcription. Transcription word, transcription segment, transcriptions. Transcriptions. Looks like they even use slightly different transcriptions class for doing that rather than what we've done before. So maybe we need to review our approach at all completely. Let's see what it replied to us. Convert, replace values. Assume your response like we can do. Return, transcribe segments to dict, transcribe words to dict, serialize raw response. Okay. Yeah, looks like we can do something like that. Okay. What if we just go here right now and in that particular case, we just switch it off. The raw results. So transcriber, let's see what we have. So transcriber, and here we have some implementation like say transcripts, and we just will comment that. Yep. Let's execute. So we initialize everything, and now we should send. Okay, we send in for transcription. Okay, we got our result. We extract from our result everything we need. We preserve all the files, we save them, and we complete it. Okay, so if we will execute the same for transcribe on our file, most probably it's now should work. Oh, we hit some limit with our testing. Okay, okay. So what we received here, we did some changes yesterday to support our real-time SDK, but we broke some code which works fine before, because before something was returned as a dictionary, and now it's returned as objects. And it looks like there is no very simple, super simple way to like fix our code. We need to just invest slightly more into preserving that whole structure as JSON object. It was our initial idea. So probably we could do that tomorrow. And yes, once we fix that, once I fix that, I'll test the stream process. Yeah, the stream process, if it's could process our streams and do like before, and if it's can, then we could easily switch back to our live chatbot functionality, which could talk and which could insert some jokes and make our streams more bright. And yeah, we will work on that part. As of now, I think I will wrap up my stream. I don't have a huge amount of time today, but if you want me to look into something specific, just leave me a comment. If you want to ask a question or propose some topic, write a comment under the stream. I will see all the comments. Um, I don't have any code which blocks them, so I'm doing it myself at the moment. But we will have some code which could reply all your comments and block some unwanted content in future very soon. Okay, guys, as usual, I will wish you love, acceptance, and wisdom. It's all what we really need in this era of upcoming AI. And even if it's not actual artificial intelligence, if it's just models, if it's just some um, token predictions models like any LLM are. And you see that our next uh, model like O3 could replace, I think, about 90% of the job in the world on the market. So what could we expect from actual artificial intelligence, which will come shortly after? Hopefully not so shortly, and we have some time to be prepared, but of course it's not be controlled. It's so many companies want to do that, and so many governments want to do that, so it's surely will be done very, very, very soon. And after that, yeah, shape of our race, of our planet, everything will change dramatically. So let's be prepared. Let's gain wisdom, love, acceptance, and everything else, which will help us overcome all the problems, including that one. Okay, guys, see you and have a great time of the day.